Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day to start celebrations for, I think this is our third Spotlight event. Is that right, Daniel? So you're in for a treat today. I'm just going to say a few sort of opening words and a few reflections, really. So it seems only yesterday we had an event in the centre of Manchester to launch what was the Health Innovation Accelerator, which comprises two programs. One is advanced diagnostics and one is genomics. And at the time, it was kind of still an idea and a concept, and we didn't really know how it was all going to turn out. But what we did recognise was the research and academic strengths in Greater Manchester, combined with the clinical expertise, combined with innovation expertise, combined with strategic industry partners, all backed by public funding generated through Innovate UK, supported by the GMCA, was a great example of what we call the quadruple helix in action. But it was a leap of faith, and I can't believe now, 3 years later, we are nearing the end of the programme. It's cheesy to say it's been a journey, but it definitely has. I think you make assumptions when you start off on these projects and programmes, but you have to enter it, and we don't like to fail. And Greater Manchester particularly doesn't like to say something has failed, because we want to succeed at all costs. But to be honest, when things don't entirely go to plan, that's not failure. It's learning and it's insight. And I think we've had buckets of that as we have gone along. And the point of care testing work, I think, has been super interesting, because I think people go, of course you can just put a blood test in an ambulance, can't you? Well, you'll find out today how tricky and difficult some of that work has been. So innovation is multiple things. It's the implementation of a new idea or concept into a system to transform outcomes, and outcomes can include improving the health and well-being of a population. It can include making the system more efficient and effective and increasing productivity. And it also includes contributing to economic growth and prosperity in the city region. And I think it's fair to say we have achieved many of those outcomes, which I'll flash up in a moment, through the Health Innovation Accelerator. But none of that would have been possible without the depth of collaboration between our organisations. There was a suite of logos on the screen here. So these are just some of the organisations that have collaborated across the whole Innovation Accelerator programme. And we don't believe we would have, our clinical academic colleagues who participated in this said they could not have delivered the research, the work, the innovation activities had it not been for this programme. So I want to say thank you first and foremost to everyone who's been involved in it at all levels, particularly our partners at the University of Manchester and Manchester University Foundation Trust, our cracking team at Health Innovation Manchester. You know, you've been there throughout, trying to convene and connect the system, but also our industry partners, because we know we particularly come to industry with all sorts of different opportunities, and some fly and some don't. And this was a genuine leap of faith, because it had never been done like this before. So just to cast people's mind back, the Health Innovation Accelerators were awarded to 3 city regions. One was Greater Manchester, one was West Mids, and one was Glasgow. And the concept behind them, it was all to do with the Levelling Up white paper of the previous government, was to, I mean, the words are kind of jargonistic, but supercharge R&D in place-based city regions, i.e., how can we use some public investment to pump prime research and development activities in a city region that then go on to deliver those, from a Innovate UK perspective, they're looking at the economic growth metrics. But for us in Greater Manchester, economic growth alone is not enough. So we brought together the Health Innovation Accelerator because we want to do innovation that does all of those three things that I said: improves health for local people, helps the system to be better, and contributes towards economic growth and prosperity. So Greater Manchester submitted a bid in what it's called its frontier sectors, frontier growth sectors. And for us, that includes health innovation and life sciences. So Greater Manchester has one of the richest and most diverse life sciences and innovation clusters in the UK. And we've been able to build on those assets across the city region to deliver the work we have today. So we're standing on the shoulders of giants in the system to be able to do this work. But critically, you do have to focus your activities on things that you think are going to deliver the most impact. And I think the team have done some fantastic work through the course of this programme. And I think it has tested relationships. I would hope most people would say it has strengthened relationships overall. And we are in a bidding round at the moment for another round of funding that would build on the Health Innovation Accelerator. That's called the Local Investment Partnership Fund. We can't reveal whether or not where that's up to quite, but we're hopeful that Greater Manchester will continue to be able to go forward to do even more in this space, building on those frontier sectors and taking our collective health innovation research aspirations to the next level. Something when we set up this programme as well was we had the actual, what we would call the sort of research or delivery projects, but underpinning those and wrapping around all of them was two critical work streams. One was the data assets. We called that the Common Data Platform. So how Greater Manchester has rich, diverse population level data, but we'd not quite figured out how to unlock that data to support R&D efforts. So the project helped us develop some of the architecture and underpinning governance and build trust with our citizens and data controllers so that we can unlock the potential to use data for research and innovation efforts. Our partners were really patient with us through that time. That in of itself was an innovative project. We didn't have some ready-made platform off the shelf that we could just give open access to for data. We had to build that over the last few years. And I think some of the projects have really benefited from the ability to use real-world population level data to benefit their research efforts. And you might hear a bit more about that. But what you'll definitely hear more about is the connectivity we had with our citizens and our local populations. So we entered this work stream not wanting to just work with our assumptions we had. We wanted to really work with our communities to understand their lived experience, their insights, their barriers. And our PPIE team, our public engagement team, worked in collaboration with some creative industry partners to actually go out to where people are in communities. No one is hard to reach in our eyes. You just have to figure out how to go out and make the relationships and get to them. And we've generated deep insight on people's attitudes, barriers, beliefs, behaviours towards approaching things like screening or going for diagnostic tests. And that has been innovative in of itself. So innovation isn't just a product. Innovation can be the way in which you go out and engage with communities, with clinicians, how you shape that into different policies and approaches. And this project has definitely shown the true power of innovation at all of those multiple levels. So I'm really proud of the work we've all collectively done on this. I think we want to have a further final shindig in the summer when the programme fully closes. But today you're going to absolutely hear from some amazing and inspiring people who've been doing some incredible work. And Daniel will take you through the agenda shortly. But it's been a real privilege to be involved in this. what I've said provides the context, but this slide really cements some of the impacts that we've been working towards. So it isn't just warm words. What we have to do towards the end of the programme is submit a kind of impact report of how we've exploited the programme through all of those different lenses. So this isn't kind of finished yet. These are things we are forecasting to achieve towards the end of the programme, ranging from how we are contributing towards economic growth in the city region, how we are supporting our academics to go on to publish papers. I've just heard someone talking before about a publication that they're working on. Now we have been able to develop that viable population level data asset that will go on to support more research across Greater Manchester and beyond into the future. And really impressive numbers on the extent to which we've gone to engage with people with lived experience and communities. So that's kind of it from me. I hope you really enjoy the day. Thank you for coming, and please, when you have opportunity, ask our speakers and presenters lots of questions, because it really is brimming full of insights for us all to learn from and take away. So thank you very much.